Mason Greenwood's future has been decided. He will stay at Manchester United. The 21-year-old forward who has got 2 years left on his contract is one of those players whose future has been uncertain. This as David De Gea again continues to stall. Is he destined to leave Manchester United? Welcome to the hotspot. My name is Webb with more updates concerning transfers, speculations, and of course the takeover talk concerning the biggest club in the world. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't as we get proper into this conversation. Now, the new development coming through from Manchester United, first of all, is that they have released their list of players who are going to stay and those who are leaving the club. Now, not surprising that among those who are leaving is none other than Phil Jones, who has been around for United for quite some time, but has not been playing, because of injuries and a lot of other issues that have been going on with him. So certainly his career took a downward spiral years ago, even when Sir Alex Ferguson was still there. But he has had his time at Manchester United, and indeed he lives with, I think, a lot of love, passion and admiration. Of course, he joined the club in 2009 from Blackburn Rovers, and Phil Jones has indeed been a player who has poured his body, put his body on the line for the badge, whereas he has had some bad moments. Like anyone, I think in life we all have bad moments. He certainly is a player you feel had the Manchester United badge at heart, and you do want to wish him well wherever he goes. Of course, several other players have left, mostly not first team players except Wenzebe, who is among those who joined, of course, Phil Jones out of the club. But the big news is David De Gea is not on the list of those who are staying, as United are saying they are still undecided between the two. They have yet to reach an agreement on whether David De Gea should stay or he should go, because they are still in talks with the player. Now, the talks seem to be taking some bit of time, and it's increasingly becoming a problem for Erik ten Hag, who wants to get things done and dusted before the preseason officially starts. So it's a tight situation for De Gea, but the fact that he's not in the list, the final list that the club approved of players who are staying, it shows you that probably what we've been saying for a long time now might be true. It's a question of when, not if, David De Gea will leave Manchester United. Now, remember, his contract ends at the end of this month. The contract he has got now, he's yet to agree on terms for a new contract. United want to cut down badly on his terms. He doesn't seem to want that to happen to his contract. So that's the situation that is causing us this scenario where De Gea, the #1 goalkeeper for Man United for almost 12 years, is not sure whether he will be staying at the club or not. It's certainly, again, points to one direction: who could be coming in to replace David De Gea, who now, for me, seems to be headed out. Well, there is talk of several players, and one of those is that man, Andre Onana. As you can see there in our tags, we are asking you, who do you think should replace David De Gea? Should it be Andre Onana, or should Manchester United go for Diogo Dalot? Give me your opinion in the comment section. Drop down there in the comment section and give me your opinion about that. But that's the man who is looked at as an option, but he has got about 4 years left on his contract, quite a long time. So that's why Inter Milan are trying to hold out for a huge fee for him, because he has got a long contract with the club. So it's going to be an interesting battle between Man United and Chelsea, who as well linked to Onana as a possible replacement for De Gea. But also Diogo Costa, who for me should be the top contender. He's one of the players Man United has been looking at, but he's quite pricey. That's the issue. Question is, will FC Porto be willing to cut down on his price so that United can cash in on him? Because certainly he is the first choice option for United in between the sticks. He's priced at about £64.2 million. United feel they should be able to negotiate for something way lower than that. So that's the situation concerning De Gea. But for now, the club is saying they are still in talks with him, De Gea, to see if they agree on terms for a new contract. Well, that's David De Gea for you. Smash the subscribe button. Do continue to like as we do continue to converse and talk about Manchester United and the transfer talk. Now, Mason Greenwood is the other youngster, is the youngster now who has been in the papers. Now, of course, there has been uncertainty about whether he's going to start United or not. Now, remember, Greenwood has got a contract that runs out in 2025, and recently him and his team came out and boldly told the club that you guys, you need to make a decision, communicate, let us know what you think or what the situation is. The player has been out of action since October. He's been out of action for quite some time, and it's certainly not good for him. He was acquitted of all charges. The club is, conducting internal investigations that are never ending. So what's it? What's up? What's going on? But the good news, whereas the Glazers, who are believed to be the guys with the final say, whereas they have not come out to officially state whether he's going to come back and slide into the first team, the first step pointing in the right direction is that Mason Greenwood is on the list of players who are staying at Manchester United. That, I think, deserves a hand clap. A proper first step in the right direction concerning Manchester United. So Mason Greenwood is still around to probably try and push out and see if he can see out his contract at the club. But for me, I do believe Mason Greenwood is one of the future stars of Manchester United. I believe in a few years from now, we'll be looking back at the moment, at the ordeal he had, and thinking, well, it happened, but we'll forget about it, because I do believe if he's handled well, Greenwood will be an impeccable player, an important player for Manchester United. He's only 21, but is certainly not going to be he's not going to see his career go just like that because of an incident that happened. Now, of course, more developments coming through as I speak now. It is the United Stand is reporting that David De Gea, reports that are coming through now as I do speak in real time, that David De Gea is increasingly likely to leave Manchester United. De Gea is increasing. Guy, for me, I think, like I told you, as a journalist, you always want to read between the lines. I think reading between the lines, I think De Gea, having been left out of this squad, for me, of those confirmed players who are staying, for me, it's clear David De Gea is not staying at Man United. I do believe it's a question of when, not if, we will get an official announcement. But reality is, I do think David De Gea will be rather let go of. He will be released from the club as Manchester United clears and makes way for another goalkeeper. The latest coming in, of course, United revealed that they are still in talks going on with the player, but clearly by this time they should have been done, because I think they had all the time in the world to go on into all forms of talks they would want. So for me, I wouldn't be surprised if it's an end of the road for the #1 shortstopper for Man United for over a decade. De Gea's time is out. I do want to believe, like I've been reporting consistently, I don't think he's staying. I think David De Gea is a legend of the club, and that's why Ten Hag was being nice and cool about how he handled his situation. I don't think they want him to stay. That's why United has been looking at several options of players. Now, United is yet to go back to Chelsea with another bid for Mason Mount. We are yet to have an improved bid. What we know is that United are putting together something, and they are probably expected to go back with a bid of about £50 million. That's the improvement on the initial £40 million that was rejected by Chelsea. Well, that's the expectation. So that's the bit of the situation we are at now. Of course, talking about other clubs, Arsenal planning to go back with 100 million to West Ham United for Declan Rice. Well, they can go on and of course do that. There is a hope that maybe this is a bid that will be accepted by West Ham United. Remember, West Ham do rate their player at about 120 million pounds. That's why they rejected on arrival the initial 80 million pounds bid from the Gunners. So I think that should be good news for Devils, for Man United, the Red Devils, that Arsenal are failing to get some of the key players they are looking at. But also, Man City have been increasingly watching and monitoring the situation there, and they seem to be interested in Declan Rice as well, just like Bayern Munich has been for quite some time. But yeah, that's a bit of the update concerning the transfers. I will be back at exactly 10 p.m. to talk more about the takeover, Manchester United's stock price, but also talk about the exclusivity situation that is causing a lot of debate concerning the takeover of Manchester United. The Glazers are still trapped in conversations with Sheikh Jassim, and a decision is about to be made. Now, there is talk that a final decision, final takeover, even if it was agreed on today or even before today, it can only get done I think up to August. That's what. But of course, you would understand that. I think it's not it getting done. It's a matter of agreeing and of course starting on the process, because you don't own a club from 2005 and they take it away from you overnight. I think it is only logical. It's a process. There are legal processes you go through to finally take over a club. So for me, whether it's in August, so as long as we know now that they have agreed to sell to Sheikh Jassim, that will be the most important thing. But details concerning the takeover will be coming through at exactly 10 p.m. Now, of course, there is also another update coming through from Rasmus Højlund. It is said that a bid, and they're not revealing from which club, I want to think it was Manchester United, that Atlanta rejected a 35 million euros bid for Rasmus Højlund recently. All that and more we'll be discussing tonight at 10 p.m. here on the Hotspot. My name is Webb. Subscribe if you haven't.